My name is Eugen Freund. That is Eugene, but pronounced Eugen Freund, and I'm a member of the European Parliament.
Is the UK, in your view, threatening Austria when it comes to Hinkley Point power station?
We don't know exactly what the British government has in mind. I mean, we know that today there might be a meeting between the Austrian Chancellor and the British Prime Minister, David Cameron, and we hope that the issue will be settled there. I don't think pressure by a friendly government is something that the European community would like to see. And certainly we won't like to see that.
I mean, according to reports, one quote is that the UK will take every opportunity to sue or damage Austria if it pursues a legal action on Hinkley Point. Are you familiar with these kind of threats coming from the UK? Is it something that you believe is happening?
Well, I find it rather peculiar that the British government would resort, if it indeed does, resort to this kind of language and pressure when nothing else will happen than an established court of justice, the European Court of Justice, will settle an issue. And I would not be able to understand why the British government is rejecting or opposing a European court's decision.
The British government see this project as vital, and I think a lot of jobs in the local areas see this as vitally important. Do you believe that the Austrian government will nonetheless pursue legal action, even if there are these kind of threats coming from the British government?
I mean, there's a certain time frame, as we all know. You know, that has not been published in the respective journal, so we'll have to wait and see. But the Austrian government has made clear that it will pursue that strategy because it has been a long-standing policy of Austria to reject nuclear power for good reasons. I mean, we all remember Chernobyl. Most recently, we all remember Fukushima, and we know what kind of a threat nuclear power stations can pose to the public. Let alone, we don't regard nuclear power stations to be sustainable energy producers. So these are all factors that should be relevant in this case.
Do you think that threats from the British government would in any way make the Austrian government think again, consider perhaps not taking legal action after all?
I don't think that the Austrian government will back down in threats from any government. I don't think, as I said before, I don't think that threats by a friendly government in the European community is something that we would allow to even happen. You know, I mean, this is something that is completely out of line.
Just a word to conclude about the timeline. We're expecting some kind of formal confirmation from the European Commission, and then there's a 2-month window. Do you think that Austria will, in any case, pursue this legal action, whatever the threats might be from the UK government?
I certainly do think so, except that I have to add, I mean, we'll have to see what comes out in today's talks between the two leaders of the government. I mean, maybe they find a common solution. But Austria will pursue that avenue. I'm certain of that. And I'm still surprised that the British government is arguing with jobs in that case, because there are so many more jobs in the so-called green industry. And if they were to pursue these jobs and would open up more green jobs, they would certainly have a better way for the future than with nuclear power stations.